live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Extreme 104 SVG. You would not believe what just happened. Remember, we were talking about the Vonzu app all morning. Remember, I was telling you how we're hungry and what's not. So we made an order, and it is here. Like, boss man just like rolled in right now. I love your outfit, though. I love the color, man. And he's opening his bag as we speak. The helmet, bad up. Me love up the helmet. Yeah, extra. Yeah, extra helmet. No. And we're waiting for a call from a special person. All right, thank you. Listen, I real greedy, right? So this is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to take my put it in the corner over here because I don't want to land no snatching on my thing, right? So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can hold out over there. Yeah, man. Thank you. Have a good one. Have a good one. As easy as that, right? As easy as that. Breakfast is served. So breakfast came from Better Foods this morning. Let me just share with you the look, Sian. Morning, Sian. We're laughing so far.
Good morning, Crystal. You call me almost. You call my name then like an annoyed partner. Like what you calling me for this morning? Morning, Sian. You know.
Hold on. Before you start talking, I want to share something, right? When you are ready to order us breakfast, right? Make sure you download the Vonzu app, VONZUU, right? And you could get this kind of breakfast from Better Foods. You get pancakes, waffles, scrambled eggs, cheese omelette, chicken sandwich, BLT, bacon and cheese sandwich, egg and cheese sandwich, grilled cheese sandwich, egg sausages and toast, and of course, coffee and tea. Hint, hint, hint. For
What's
tomorrow morning.
What's the name of the app?
Vonzu, VONZUU.
And that's a local app for local enterprise?
Yes, please. Yes, please. You know what? I'm going to send it to you right now, okay? So when you
Sure,
come
that.
off,
Yes.
right, you download it, and tomorrow you start using it. Send us
Absolutely.
breakfast.
We
See how much?
celebrate Vincentian excellence. When you see young Vincentians, getting into that type of thing and expanding their horizons, developing apps and using the apps to improve the efficiencies of the business. You celebrate Vincentian excellence. And these are not the stories that we hear enough of. Unfortunately, we hear a lot of gossip and foolishness and comments, but you have enterprise Vincentians doing things like the Vonzu up and doing deliveries and so forth.
Yeah.
And you celebrate that. You talk more about that.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Me love how you say we just celebrate. I wonder who
We
does
should.
this.
We should. I'm
We
not
don't.
sure if we do, but we should.
We do. We do. Every morning we have a little celebratory thing here to start off the morning. But anyways, we're talking about something that ain't really sitting too well with people. See what happened? Do you know what happened?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the memo from the Ministry of Health, right? And the fact that cabinet would have sat down, they would have met, they would have talked about stuff, and somebody type up the memo, send it to the PS signed it to get out. Everybody was talking about it, and it turns out that something wasn't right there. That's not what was supposed to be out into the public. So what happened?
Okay.
What can you tell us this morning?
Well, first of all, let me say, Crystal, and I love Extreme Radio. I listen to Extreme Radio. I love the balance that they present, or that they try to present. Even though pressures from the listening public may demand other things, you try to stay a good course, and I love that. And I would have preferred to be calling you this morning to talk about the fact that we just get $60-something million from World Bank to start building the hospital. I mean, $60-something million US. I mean, that's the big news.
You tuned in late because we don't touch on that already.
But I think that should have been the sustained one as opposed to an error. So I was at the press conference yesterday, which I know you were talking about this morning, and the issue simply is that an error occurred. Now I'm not sure since when in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that errors aren't supposed to happen, and when errors happen, they become the main story as opposed to the side event. So there's cabinet. Cabinet comprises of all of the ministers. There's a cabinet secretary. There's the AG who advises the government on legal matters. But cabinet also invites individuals when they deal with specific things. So, for example, if they're dealing with COVID protocols, they would invite the CMO and officials from health. If they're dealing with something about agriculture, they'll invite the PS from agriculture and other technical individuals in that ministry. So, as they were dealing with health issues and health protocols, I suspect individuals from health, maybe the CMO or the medical officer of health, whomever, and a few others may have been invited to be interrogated by the cabinet and to offer their suggestion, their advice going forward so that cabinet can decide. Now, based on the press conference yesterday, I'm not a member of cabinet, so I'm giving you, or now I'm invited to cabinet, so I'm giving you what was said at the press conference, is that there is a strong advice, a very strong suggestion, a very strong recommendation from the government, from the cabinet, that individuals in the health sector to get boosted. No, there is still that very strong recommendation to get vaccinated. PM is on radio very often, and I never heard him, even as his press secretary, speak to all radio. You don't want to invite him, he comes. So don't even try to
do not make we talk out with business on air.
No. I listen to the two of you together talking about calling each other Empress and so on. Well, at least him calling
once he is invited, I will deal with that at the end.
No, once he's invited, he would come. Once his schedule allows for it. No.
Okay.
So, and I never once heard him mention anything about boosting being mandatory or being a job requirement. I never heard that. Neither on my program, speaking with him in the office, I never heard that be mentioned. So, when cabinet is done, instructions can be given. And like the Minister of Finance said yesterday, the issue of vaccination and the protocols was something of priority because of the beginning of school. So you wanted to get that information out, specifically for teachers who would be applying for employment in the teaching service. Those who refused to take the vaccine and decided to discontinue working as teachers. So now, because the protocols have changed and they can be allowed back in the classroom under certain conditions, that information was being prioritized to go out. And the thing is, somewhere in that process, a misunderstanding, a mistranscription. The fact that, let's say, the PS of health signed a memo that is erroneous, because he may not have been in the meeting, and he may have taken the word of whomever or read the memo at face value and signed it. And so you could understand how if you want in a meeting at extreme, but certain things were made and the secretary signs it and brings it to you, you would read what is there because you may not know that it contains an error. But what I think is important now, what I think is important right now is that the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister who's acting, have all come out and said that this is not the case. There is no boosting requirement for health workers, and the Minister of Health apologized for any anxiety caused.
Right.
So that we should be discussing the fact that an error was made, or are we happy that the clarification is made and we now know what the situation is? I'm not sure how the sustained discussion.
Well, people have different responses to it, right? People are thinking, for something that is so serious, how you manage, like how you manage to go about typing it up and then the PS signing it off. If he was not at cabinet, should he have verified the information, because that's his signature on that document?
Absolutely. And again, Crystal, we can all sit back and point fingers, but the reality is it's called human error, and people make very, very serious errors. I mean, and they've all apologized for the error. And I don't think we should be going, how could he make an error? Because we're human, and as the saying goes, to err is human.
Do you think that it's fair for us to ask?
Crystal, you may be in the studio and you forget to mute your mic and they start to have a conversation and someone wants to out and they can say, oh, she could do that because Crystal is human.
And then I would instantly apologize if something goes out.
Which is what they've done.
Right, so they apologize, right? So do you think that it makes sense, or it's okay for us to ask for a bit of reassurance that whatever error was made, that behind the scenes they're dealing with whosoever to prevent it from happening again? Because
again, when
it
you
don't
say
look
when you
good,
say dealing
Sion.
with whomever, again, it can simply be a misunderstanding, and so the individual who understood it a particular way and typed it up or what have you, again, that's an error, and the PS or whomever within the ministry, they have a discussion with the individual, and they say, PS, this is what I thought it meant, and so forth, and that's what I typed, and what are you going to do? You're going to suspend them because they made an error? I mean, you hope that individuals, employees, throughout all of us, would be careful and ask for, double check and ask for if something is not clear, you clear it up and so forth. But again, in the rush to get this information out for the opening of school, specific to teachers who are applying for a position, people just wanted to get it out. And
I want to know what
in
was
the
the
haste.
information that was supposed to be out.
Well, the
Do you
information that
have?
was supposed to is the information that there is a strong recommendation
So it was
for
supposed
health
to be
workers,
it's highly recommended
right, a strong
based on the
recommendation,
statutory rules and orders and so on and so
right,
on.
right,
Those who are being hired, those who are existing healthcare workers,
absolutely.
that you be boosted every 5 months. That was what was supposed to be the
No,
message.
I'll tell you something, Crystal. I honestly didn't know that this was going wrong on the weekend. I didn't know. But since last week, I made an appointment to get my booster shot, and I had my booster shot on Monday.
But that is you.
The-
Nobody. There
no,
are some people
no,
who didn't want to take the first one in the first place.
that's no, but that's what I'm saying to you is that I recognize the help that the vaccines are offering to us in boosting our immune system, and I am making that conscious decision. I didn't have to wait on the government to strongly recommend that. However, there are some individuals who maybe needing the recommendation, needed the reassurance, even now, even a year and a half after we've been doing vaccines, and everybody's seen the vaccines working, and nobody ain't growing hands, and nobody ain't dropping down dead like flies, like all of the things that people said. Some people are still saying, oh, me ain't trust the vaccine. You know what I mean? And also, because the situation with COVID might have eased that there are spikes in infections and a lot of deaths. People think, well, maybe I could relax now. My own attitude towards COVID. People don't wear masks anymore. I'm not even sure if people bother so much with the hand sanitizing anymore. But still, especially in the health sector, and for those frontline workers and teachers who are dealing with our children, you want to still make sure that we operate in the safest possible environment. And so the recommendation is for those who have not been vaccinated, even as the government allows for unvaccinated individuals to apply or reapply or whatever term they want to use for the teaching service, even as that allowance is made, we still encourage you to get vaccinated. We still strongly encourage you to get vaccinated. You may have been one of the teachers who decided not to take the vaccine and not comply with the requirements. You may be a new individual who just graduated and want to get into the teaching service, but you're not vaccinated because you never took the vaccine.
Okay.
Whatever the case, there is still that very strong, even though it's no longer a requirement for the job, there is still that very strong and high recommendation to get vaccinated. And going forward, there is that recommendation, if you've been vaccinated, if you've taken both doses, to get boosted. And I think I understand there was an error, there was anxiety, and people are talking about it,
Right.
and I understand that. But at the same time, we also promote the health benefits of the vaccine, and we encourage people to take the vaccine and get boosted. And that's what the government wants to do, and that's what the government is doing.
Let me ask you at this time, right? If it is highly recommended that you right now you get vaccinated and you be boosted, why isn't it highly recommended that you be tested?
Well, individuals who there are a number of challenges with testing, Crystal, because as you know, we don't have the capacity to test everybody as regularly as 2, 3, 4 weeks or once, every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, or what have you. But we do know that the vaccine reduces your chance of illness, and if you do get ill, reduces significantly your chance of severe illness, hospitalization, and even death. So that individuals are free to go at their own expense and get tested as regularly as they want to, but the practicability of the government saying employees should get highly recommend that they get tested every 2 weeks. You remember when the government had that policy where employees get tested who aren't vaccinated. People even rebelled against that. They didn't want to get tested either. As a matter of fact, there are individuals who refused to get tested, even at a time when the public service was doing random testing, and they had all the reasons why. So they don't want to take the vaccine and they don't want to get tested.
They don't want to have to. They don't want. I don't think they objected against getting tested. They objected against the payment.
No.
Cost. I remember the argument being the
There
cost
are
of
people-
payment.
No. Well, first of all, I mean, if you choose to get tested, somebody has to pay for it. Why should the government pay for it? But also, Crystal, the truth is there are people who have refused and they've given a litany of reasons. Oh, this thing isn't safe that they're using on the swab and so on and so forth. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact. They've refused to get tested. Had nothing to do with the payment. But again, like I said, if you decide that you're not getting vaccinated as is required, and you're opting for testing, then I mean it would be unreasonable for you to expect that the government pay for your test every month or however often there's a testing regimen. So you know that was just not the best workable solution. The most workable solution is to get vaccinated, and for those who are vaccinated, get boosted. If you choose not to, and you're in a particular sector, you need to get tested, and that may well be. Even now, for example, with the teachers, where there's a testing requirement, the government pays for the first four.
First four. After that, hopefully after that, the situation changes and everything can just drop.
But what if it doesn't, though, Crystal? I mean, your amazing, precious little bundle of joy, who may be going to daycare. I mean, you don't want to know that your bundle of joy is in a safe environment.
And if there is an unvaccinated teacher, let her put on a mask.
Right.
And but the thing is, right? The vaccine helps the individual who is vaccinated. It does not completely 100% say that vaccinated person is unable to spread. So if you're going to test the unvaccinated, I think you should just test everybody and done. Not so.
No, you see, here's the
or
thing.
are we assessing risk? So
right, but that's the point. So if the vaccine reduces transmissibility significantly, naturally, Crystal, you would definitely have a policy that treats vaccinated and unvaccinated differently because of the risk factor that the science says. I mean. You know,
but you might miss a super spreader, a one or two in between.
You remember? I'm sure you heard situations and suggestions from people that those who are vaccinated sin. But if we vaccinated, but we still have to do X, Y, Z, and so on and so on. What was the point in getting vaccinated? I'm sure you heard those type of comments.
See, I just ready to get out of all of this mess.
Me too. I want COVID to be gone, but until it's gone, we have to deal with it, and we have to deal with it in a manner that ensures as best as possible the safety of all Vincentians, including our children and our elderly, those with underlying conditions and so forth. And so individuals, adults who are working with the elderly, who are working with children, who are working with the ill and those in underlying conditions. Oh, come on. I mean reasonably and in all good sense, you want to ensure that the possibility of you transmitting a deadly disease, a deadly virus, to those who are vulnerable is significantly reduced. And we do that by getting vaccinated.
Yes, sir.
And following all the precautions.
All right.
So I'm happy that I was able to share some of this morning. But let's talk about the fact that people in Bailey Equity Referral Hospital now.
That people what?
$1
No, you said that so fast.
I said. So let's talk about the fact that we got the money from the World Bank. We're going to start building the acute referral hospital for $86 million.
Again?
Stuff. Moving a lot of the services out of Milton Cato, bringing them to Annisville, adding new services, and then transferring Milton Cato into a children and maternity hospital. So
Again?
And the work of the world pediatric program. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's
Again?
I mean,
I'm asking you again.
Crystal, that's a big deal. Yeah, let me talk about it some more. We don't talk about it enough.
Who's we?
We know, like Extreme.
Extreme?
Yeah.
What time you log on this morning, Sian?
Christian, I
Don't
was
make
sitting-
me put you
Christian,
in the
I was-
naughty corner this morning.
You spent seven minutes on that and 45 minutes on the memo.
I spent 45 minutes on the memo, or people spend 45 minutes on the memo. If I throw out a topic, if I throw out my bait,
Right.
and nobody responds, what do you want me to do?
But I hear you. But I guess that's why we guide the discussion. And again, please don't get me wrong. I mean, people are anxious and people responding in support. But we try to guide the discussion. And we said, look, yes, the memo came out. It did come out from the Ministry of Health, but the minister and the cabinet members represented yesterday has assured the nation that it's not a requirement for work. Although there is a very strong and high recommendation to get boosted, it is not a work requirement. And so we can continue following the protocols and doing everything we can to keep ourselves safe. But the strong recommendation is if you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. And if you are vaccinated, get boosted.
Mr. Marshall.
Yes, sir.
So official, Mr. Marshall.
All right. No, I just want to pick up on something, right? Earlier you said, right, that you went to take a booster.
Yes.
All right. But then you also said that you didn't know about the article.
Not last week. When I made the appointment, and even Monday morning when I took the booster, I didn't know that the memo was making me wrong. No, I did not.
Okay. So what prompted you to go and take the booster?
Because I took my first booster late last year, and I just felt the need to get boosted. That's it. Simple.
Late last year. So late last year was when?
I probably around November thereabouts.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Okay.
So you're taking it like an annual thing. All right, cool.
All right.
Almost
Okay.
8 months
You know,
thereabouts.
look, here's the thing, right? I've taken so many vaccines in my life. I wanted to go to Guyana to take yellow fever. I've taken so many vaccines. So I'm not one who is anti-vax. And I know the benefits of vaccines. I took my booster. My arm was a little sore for about a day, but it's better now. And I'm just about protecting myself. That's it. I spoke to my cousin who works in the health services, and I asked her, I said, when can I have a booster? Simple, out of my own volition, nothing at all about any requirement or any strong recommendation or so forth. I took the vaccines on my own. I took the booster on my own, and the second booster, I took it on my own.
So, very good. I'm proud of you.
So you would follow the 5 month recommendation, or you do it when you feel like?
Well, my own cousin, as I said, who's in the health services, she guides me, and she gives me an idea as to the efficacy and how it weighs, and she encourages me, and look, I'll follow that. If she says to me, "Then it's about time that you take a booster," I'll take it.
Okay.
Especially as we are still in a public health emergency, and that COVID is still here.
Okay, very good, very good. So I want to segue into something else. See what happened to you on social media? Who vexed you?
No, but I'm having fun. Nobody expects that. You look at me on social media. I'm having fun. I'm smiling. And people cussing me.
What was the genesis of the beat up TikTok thing?
Hello?
What was the genesis of that?
Well, I saw, I've been going to TikTok. I just joined about 2-3 weeks ago.
And you don't causing trouble already?
And
Probably should come off.
I saw this one that I thought was really funny. One time, a million times, I said, let me just do something funny. And it was in 6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I did something for 6 seconds. How often would ULP beat the NDP election? One time, 1,000 times, and then a million times. And then people come on my page, which is light and fun and supposed to be thing, and talk about wife beat up wife, box up wife. And I'm thinking, this is the attitude of the angry haters who want to silence people. Even if there were allegations 5 years ago of a domestic situation with me, it don't mean I can't support labor. It don't mean I can't talk. So once I try to talk,
they're probably saying like
it has nothing to do with defending victims. It has nothing to do with being about. It's about trying to shut people up and silence people because they're effective. I'm effective. Clearly, I'm effective.
When you say shut people up and silence people, what are you referring to? You?
Well,
They're trying to shut you up?
Yeah, look at the comments.
Let me ask you a question here, right?
Why do I speak to that? So I can't talk?
devil's advocate there. So people who are upset about the error that was made isn't telling people to focus on the positives and forget about the error. We don't deal with that. Isn't that the same thing?
No, because I
Telling people to stop talking?
Because I said to you more than once this morning that I understand that people would be anxious and so forth, but it has been cleared up. If you
Right. So
saw the memo
it's
and you wanted
almost like
clarity.
not wanting people to vent or not
No,
allowing them to vent.
because we're saying to you that if you saw the memo and you had some misconceptions, it has been cleared up. So this is the clarity. This is what is the situation. This is what pertains. Let us not continue to focus on the error that was made, which is what people are doing. If the thing, there was an allegation, and so 5 years later, I make a post at 6 seconds, and the focus is on an allegation that was 5 years ago, instead of a live video. And so thankfully, I saw somebody comment and go, but what does that have to do with the video? The man is just having fun. And many individuals got it. You know, it was funny. People laughed. One guy commented, I don't support the politics, but this is funny. But there is
You're going viral.
There is that continued attempt at trying to shut me up and shame me because I'm effective. But it didn't go up. I can still talk.
All right. Everybody can still talk, man. All right.
That's the point. It's a free society, and regardless to what, Sion Marshall is of intention. I have an opinion, and I'm going to share that opinion. Respectfully.
Respectfully. All right, Sion.
All right, have a good one.
Oh, before you go, one more thing, right? Yep. Let this be a public invitation to the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the studios of Extreme FM for the wake-up call.
Once he gets back, I would let him know that the invitation was made by Crystal, and I would let you know what his response is. But I'm sure he will take up on your invitation.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Have a good day, Sion.
All right,
bye-bye. Sion in the morning for you, boy. Rastafari. We got to wrap things up on that. Thank you so much for joining the live. Help me out there. Thank you. Get it off your chest. As he mentioned that thing there, how distasteful. Get it off my chest, 9:02 a.m. Was it to see in a local newspaper an image of somebody trying to throw a ball through a painting? Is it a painting or something, a replica of the Prime Minister, trying to throw it through his mouth? So I don't know if they plaster his image onto like a piece of board. And this happened at a fair that was put on by, oh gosh, now I can't remember it right now, by one of the NDP representatives, an NDP politician. And as a game, it is a game, at a fair on August 1st, you're trying to throw a ball through the mouth of the PM. So distasteful, I find. I have never seen that. Me never see that. But I mean, me kind of young enough, but still. So that's where we're going to next. Jesus. Hello, good morning. The phone lines are going. Hello, good morning.
Open forum?
Yes, sir.
And it's not quite 5 years, St. Marshall. Thanksgiving weekend will make 5 years. Another episode in Brooklyn.